And we're going to wrap up the first portion of the program with my friend Abby Andrietsch, the president and CEO of St. Augustine Preparatory Academy. Launched in 2017, AugPrep offers a student-centered environment where young learners take ownership of their education, not only in academics, but also in the physical, health, creativity, and faith. The school currently enrolls 1,500 students and is expanding to ultimately serve 2,400 students. Prior to AugPrep, Abby was a co-founder of Schools That Can Milwaukee, which merged with partners advancing values in education to form City Forward Collective. She currently serves on the boards of All in Milwaukee and Husco. Please welcome Abby Andrietsch.
Good morning. It's both a privilege and a challenge to follow these incredible other education leaders, and this room is full of some pretty amazing school leaders and educators, and I want to stop and say thank you for everything you do every day, for your partnership in this work, and thank you to the BizTimes, because this is a really important conversation. And as someone that's both been in the business world and now in the education world, I know the impact that this has on our business and our future as a community. So as Kate shared, my name is Abby Andrietsch. I'm president at St. Augustine Preparatory Academy, or AugPrep, as we like to call it. I was asked to talk a little bit about why, as schools, we think about the talent pipeline and how we connect what we're doing to what you're doing as business leaders. Before we do that, I want to set a little bit of the stage. Kate shared we opened our doors in 2017. Today, we serve 1,500 students and are growing to serve 2,400 students in the next 3 to 5 years. Our first 5.5 years had a lot of successes. We had 2 back-to-back state report cards. We also saw a reduction in crime in our neighborhood of over 43% since we opened our doors to the community. But we've learned a lot during those 5.5 years as well. Core to our mission since we started has been to build our students and to equip our students to be the leaders of tomorrow. And that's built into everything we do as a school. From the beginning, we've had pre-college programs that tie our students to career opportunities, to learning about what the path it takes to get there, and to connecting them with professionals in the work field. We've had senior panels where every one of our seniors before they graduate present their growth journey to a panel of community leaders and volunteers. And we've had a student ambassador program where our students are not only leaders in the school, but they're ambassadors and leaders in our community. We've actually got 2 of our current student ambassadors, Luis and Kelly, here today, and one of our alums, Annette, is here with us as well. They're incredible students and leaders, and I encourage you to get to know them. We are purposefully a college preparatory school, but that doesn't mean college is the right fit for every one of our students. In the same way, college isn't the right fit for every student in Whitefish Bay, in Brookfield, or in Mequon. But our job as educators is to equip and empower our students for whatever is next on their journey. That might be 4-year college, it might be 2-year college, it may be apprenticeships, and it may be purposeful work in the workforce. Our job is to make sure every one of our students is equipped for what's next. We've had 2 graduating classes, 168 students. Of those students, 52% were first-generation high school graduates. 98% were accepted into 2- and 4-year colleges, but to me, the powerful statistic is that even though 52% of our students are first-generation high school, 80% have matriculated and are attending 2- or 4-year colleges. That's compared to a national average for Hispanics of 57%. But we don't do this work alone. I think you've heard that from every one of us this morning. Partnerships are so important. And just in our college and career programming, we've got more than 120 partnerships that open the doors to opportunity and exposure for our students to see what they might want to do and to dream about what's next. Several of those partners are in the room today, and I just want to stop and say thank you as well. We can't do this work without you. A lot of you only hear the negative news. The good news is this morning, that's not what you've heard. There's some amazing bright spots in Milwaukee, but often we only hear the negative news about education in Milwaukee and the youth, and there are a lot of bright spots. Those 168 graduates I just mentioned in our first 2 classes earned more than $15 million in scholarships. That's over $90,000 per graduate. We've got graduates like Isaac, and this is actually a quote from a message he gave to our 8th graders when they graduated. Isaac is currently on a full ride at UW-Madison. He's an all-in Milwaukee scholar, and he's accepted an internship offer at Northwestern Mutual for this summer. But most powerful to me is that Isaac has 4 brothers and sisters at Aug Prep that are seeing his example and working really hard to follow in his footsteps. The BizTimes also asked me, though, to speak not only of what's working and the successes, but what have we learned? We've learned a lot in our first 5.5 years as a school, and we've learned a lot in particular from our first 2 graduating classes. Our students faced a lot of challenges that didn't equip them as well as we would have liked for what's next. Some were mental health challenges. There was a disconnect with life skills at times, with time management, study habits, communication, showing up on time. The work GPS Partners is doing is so important. We also at times saw disconnects between what students were interested in and their strengths and majors pursued. These challenges that we saw as we stepped back and talked to our partners are not unique to Aug Prep, but they're challenges we really wanted to dig into and think about how might we do things differently. So we partnered with our partners. Again, we can't do this alone. We learned a lot from partners we work with, and as a team, we stepped back to say, what can we do better? This isn't just a high school challenge. This year as a school, we are working K-4 with our 4-year-olds all the way through our 8th graders and alumni. And this is a key priority for us as a school, and work that we're doing connects the dots with our 4-year-olds and their families all the way through graduation and beyond. We're digging deeper in those pre-college programs that our students do. Every one of our high school students do at least 1 pre-college program. Most do 2, 3, or 4. Those programs are similar to what Krista talked about with the importance of teachers getting exposure and experience before they step in the classroom. How do we open our students' eyes to what opportunities are out there, what dreams they might have for themselves, and what path it takes to get there? But here's where you all come in. We're also digging a lot deeper on those career seminars, on mentorships, and career-specific mentorships especially. We're doing more internships, connecting with partners about apprenticeships for our students as well. Partnerships with you and with the business community are core to what we're doing and what so many other schools across Milwaukee are doing as well. So I want to ask you to do 3 things today. The first thing I want to ask you to do is believe. If you take nothing else from this morning, believe in what's possible for our students in Milwaukee. Not just Aug Prep students, but students all across our city. We have limitless potential. The second thing I want to ask you to do is to advocate. As Brittany shared, charter and choice schools get less than 60% of funding from what traditional schools get. And I want to ask you to join us in advocating for that funding and the equal funding with City Forward, with the MMAC, and with so many others in the business community that are stepping forward to lead those efforts. And the third thing I want to ask you to do is to connect and engage. At Aug Prep, we have a lot of different opportunities. Specifically, I want to highlight a couple of them. We have those senior portfolios I mentioned. They start next week. It's about an hour commitment. If any of you or your colleagues are interested, I'd love to invite you to join us in both investing in our students, but here's what I can promise you. You will leave any one of those presentations, and we don't match people up for those. You will leave any one of those lifted up and seeing the mission not only of Aug Prep, but of so many of our other schools across the city. For anyone interested in doing career seminars or internships, I'd love to ask you to reach out and connect with us. We'd love to connect with you, and more importantly, connect you with our students. And last but not least, Brittany and others shared, we do have financial support that we always look to raise, and I welcome you to partner with us, but more importantly, we've got a gala in spring that is a huge celebration of our students and everything that they're doing, and I'd love to ask you to consider joining us for that. Before I close, the BizTimes, when they first started talking to me, asked me the question, why engage? Why should the business community engage at all? And my answer to them was simple, and it's that I don't think the business community can afford not to. Our students are our future, and our students are your future workforce. So my question and my challenge to each of you in this room will be, and is, will you join us? Will you join us in unleashing the potential that is all across Milwaukee and our students that are our future and our community's future? Thank you so much.